We have seen not just local media, but national media as well have kind of hammered the College Football Playoff Committee going, hey, the Oregon Ducks are the number 1 seed in the country. They are undefeated, 13-0. What gives with their path being harder than a lot of other teams in the College Football Playoff? If you look at it, the Oregon Ducks will either play Ohio State or Tennessee in the Rose Bowl. Those are 2 really damn good teams.
And then the winner of Clemson, Texas against Arizona State.
Yeah.
Before ultimately having to take on the winner of the bracket that includes SMU, Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame, Georgia, Boise State.
How about this one?
Georgia.
How about this one? You could have a potential rematch with Ohio State in the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then there's the possibility that they play the University of Texas in Dallas, Texas, in the Cotton Bowl.
Ooh.
And then
Where's
in
the
national title game, they could play Georgia in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, have they ever done that before? Dusty, have they ever done that before?
It went swimmingly the first time.
And people are going, wait a minute, what's up with the 1 seed? Look,
Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia, who have all spent time this year at number 1.
It is hard to win a national title, and being the 1 seed. I mean, there were people that were like, well, would it be better for Oregon to be the 5 seed in the path be easier that way? No. Playing in that first round, you don't want any business with that. That we talked about how cold those games are going to be. Mm-hmm. What happens in cold weather games? Injuries happen more frequently, okay? Even if you're hosting a game, in a December 21st game at Autzen Stadium would be a very cold game.
38 degrees, cloudy, foggy, nasty.
On top of that, you're exposing your team to
more snaps.
70 to 100 snaps on each side of the ball against a really damn good team. Okay, I don't care if it's Clemson or SMU or Indiana, whoever it would have been. You don't want any business with that. Preparation. You get a bye week. Already, Oregon can be self-scouting today and then start preparations for 5 days apiece on Tennessee and Ohio State, your next opponent. Then you find out on the 21st who you're going to play, and you narrow that down, and you can dial in a game plan from December 22nd and get a head start on it in the 11 days leading up. Then you get from December 22nd all the way to January 1st having the advantage of rest, recovery, and dialing in your game plan. Being the number 1 seed, it's ridiculous that people are saying, it would have been easier to be the 5 seed. No, it wouldn't have been. Okay, you're going to have to play good teams if you're going to win a championship as well. That's the other thing in this. You've got to be.
If you want to go glass half full,
yeah.
They could also have a world where they face, Tennessee, Clemson, or Arizona State, and then a rematch with Boise State or SMU.
Yeah, I mean,
that's very unlikely, but as difficult as the path could get, it could also get a lot simpler if stuff goes weird.
The reality of it is, every team in college in this bracket, with the exception of Penn State, has an ugly loss, or in Boise State. Penn State and Boise State are 2 teams where's their ugly loss?
Yeah, Boise State lost to Oregon by 1 score on the road.
Penn State
had a chance to win.
Penn State lost to Ohio State and Oregon, right?
Both by 1 scores and both in very different fashions.
I think Texas, they don't have. I mean, they lost by double digits at home to Georgia. Okay, I mean 30-15 earlier in the year
in a game that was very drastically different between 2 halves.
Outside of that, everybody has stubbed their toe at some point in a way where people went, "Oh, what's going on there? How does that happen? What happened there?" In the reality, this world of college football, is the juggernauts are gone, right? And if you're Oregon, you have had a tight game against Wisconsin, a tight game against Boise State, and your defense, it faced some adversity against Penn State in the Big Ten championship game. They are 13-0 right now, and no matter the path, it was going to be difficult. No matter how you slice it, there are teams that are happy to be in the playoff, and that's also the funny thing about Alabama is like they just want to be a part of the party. right? Their expectations aren't that they win the national champ. They're just up in arms that they're not in the dance. There's teams that are happy with being there, and then there's teams with national title aspirations. And if you're going to be a team that wins a national title in a 12-team playoff, you're going to have to beat the good teams at some point. Now, do you want to go, hey, they should have gotten the easiest path? Absolutely. And we could talk about the flaws of the college football playoff format.
Mhm.
Because right now, you look at it and you go, 4 automatic bids to conference champions that get buys? Are Boise State and Arizona 2 of the top 4 teams in college football?
No.
Maybe we should reevaluate that.
I think that we'll revisit this, if not next year, the year after.
5 conference champions getting into the college football playoff, all 4 automatic bids.
Automatic bids. No issue with that.
It should be
Then
at
you reseed.
that point. You go, all right, who are the top 4 teams in the country?
Mhm.
And those 4 teams,
Get the bye.
they get the bye.
And then from there, I think you do matchups. I do.
I think that takes away from the advantage of getting a bye. Like you're saying, so if the 12 seed Clemson beats the 5 seed Texas, then Oregon should play the 12 seed. At that point, because part of getting the bye is you get a leg up on your preparations for whichever
no.
team.
I'm talking about this, not reseed after the first round. I'm talking about you get your automatic qualifiers for the conference champions. You get your top 4 who have the bye, but the remaining 8, I think you reseed the remaining 8 based on what you think gives the best path for 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
And I think you earn the bye
yeah.
and the
then
simplest
you,
path.
Then you rank them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's how you should do it.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's people that think that it should be reseeded after each game.
No,
Like
that's too much. Because, like, to your point, it takes away from the prep, which is such a huge part of this.
And that then becomes a logistical nightmare.
Yes.
If you want to guarantee conference champions that don't get a bye a home game,
Yes.
go ahead. I would be for that because there should be, if you're
That's how you keep the emphasis on the conference title game mattering, which boy did it matter this weekend.
Or you eliminate those conference championship games in general.
I don't like that.
Because right now, in the current system, it doesn't benefit anybody to play.
I mean,
it hurts a lot of teams to do that.
It helped Arizona State, it helped SMU.
Arizona State would have been the conference. They would have been number 1 in the conference anyways.
Well, and you know who
they were the highest ranked team in that conference, so
My
they
point,
would have gotten in.
It helped them
It
get the
only
4
helped.
seed.
It only helped Clemson. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In the current format, it's ridiculous because they shouldn't get a bye.
Fair.
I mean,
well, and who it hurts the most is, and this is the reason why they won't eliminate those conference championship games, is the sponsors, and then also just the, I realize the greater college football body now is not run by the NCAA anymore, but they're not going to want to give up that money. And that's why
they
that's
never
why they
will.
will not ever give up those conference championship games.
We all agree we're not done with conference realignment, right? Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what the result of conference realignment is going to lead to? The thing that people hated before, which are divisions will be back. Because when the Big Ten gets to 20 teams, you are going to have 10 teams in a division, 10 teams in another division.
Mm-hmm.
Each one will play 9 conference games within their division. The winner of each division in a 9-game conference slate will play each other in a conference championship.
Will this finally force those other SEC teams to finally play 9 conference games?
At that point, probably.
And then they'll cry about, oh, well, now we have to play a tougher schedule, and that's why, that's why we can't get in. That's why we're not doing as well.
Yeah, I love that. Look, the SEC's framing it's amazing. I mean, it's political in the way that they do it.
I mean, it's a takedown piece. It's goalpost moving, and not the ones out of Vanderbilt.
Well,
it's whatever they need it to be for convenience.
And they're essentially just going O'Doyle rules.
Yeah, but you know what? They are the best conference, and they have been the best conference. And at the top,
yes, still
at the top of their conference, they have amazing teams. So does the Big Ten, though.
Yeah.
But the framing of it, they're like, well, Indiana hasn't been a good team. They ignore Texas. And that's just very quiet. That
it's very
Texas,
political. Yeah.
Texas has played don't have a win against a top 25 team. Nor does Indiana.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
No. but in that is it's masterful in the way that they do it. And look, let's not make a mistake here. What is happening in the SEC is they've got a multi-billion-dollar deal with ABC and ESPN, right? And guess what? That's where a lot of people get their information from. And so they have that mouthpiece, they get more exposure for it, and that's just the way of the world right now, right? Is it right? No, but you know what the committee said? We don't care. You have 3 losses, you're going to be at home. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And I don't think that, look, the people that are up in arms over Oregon having a tough path too, you're going to have a really tough path if you want to win a title.
Look,
and don't shy away from it.
It's the 12 best teams in the country.
Don't shy
quote
away.
Unquote.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy.
No, it's going to be real hard. And that's
the whole point.
That's fun.
That's what we want to watch.
That is really good for the world of college football.